again, we're going to give more praises to
Yahawah, Bashem, Yahushai, Bashem, Kakadash.
Double honors to the apostles and elders that rule well, and all the brothers in the four corners of the altar and sisters on the open deck, that receiving this word in sincerity and truth. Right? Take calling out to the so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Indian, West Indian, and so-called Amerindian. Alright? To come back to your nationality. The nationality of being an Israelite.
That's right.
Alright? There is an Israelite according to the Bible. According to the Constitution of Guyana, or the Constitution of the West Indies, or the Constitution of America, or the Constitution of Europe. Right? You're not, your nationality is not according to that. Nationality is according to this book. Alright? The most powerful book upon the face of the earth.
Right.
Alright? And if this be the most powerful book upon the face of the earth, that means you are the most powerful people upon the face of the earth. Alright? When you research this book, right, it tells you that this is the most selling book and the most regarded in history book. The book that lifts up personality, spirit, and character. Alright? And what I should say, this book is like a 5-star hotel. Alright? More like a 10-star. Right? And this is your book. Alright? This is not a so-called white man book. This is not a Chinese book. This is not Islam book. Alright? This book is your book. Alright? Your book. Alright? Yeah, I'm doing it.
I got one. This is number.
Alright, this is Baruch chapter 3, reading from verse 12. It says, "Thou hast forsaken the fountain of wisdom, for if thou hast walked in the way of the power, thou shalt have dwelt in peace forever."
Yeah, you're forsaking the way of wisdom. Alright, the way of wisdom is the last statutes and commandments. You forsake it and you went after these other gods. You went serving the gods of these heathens.
Right.
Alright, you're celebrating Christmas, Pakwa, Diwali. You know, you following all these nations. Alright? All these nations you following, but you're not following what you get. Alright? If you don't know, the nation want what you have. The nation want this book. You see? Give me that in Ezekiel 3. Ezekiel 3. You continue reading when you got. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
This Baruch chapter 4 verse 1. This is the book of the commandments of the power and the laws that endure forever. All they that keep it shall come to life, but such as leave it shall die.
Yeah, this is the law that endured forever. Right? That's why in history, when you go through the history of this book, no nation, though they hate Israel, they was trying to destroy this book and they can't. Alright? Because the Lord said this book will endure forever. Alright? Yeah, continue.
Yeah. Say, "Turn thee, O Jacob, and take hold of it. Walk in the presence of the light thereof, that thou mayest be illuminated."
That thou mayest be illuminated. Being illuminated means to shine.
Or enlightened.
Yeah, go ahead, Go ahead.
This Isaiah chapter 8, verse 20. "'Tis the law unto the testimony. If they speak not according to this word, it is because there is no light in them."
Yeah, because there is no light in them. Alright, you're supposed to speak according to this book. Alright, if you're not speaking correctly, there's no light in you, bro. You got to follow this book, you got to follow the last statutes and commandments. Alright? And this book being our book, if you follow it, hey, we're going to get a nation of lights. Right? A nation of lights. Alright? Yeah.
Baruch 4, verse 3, this bringing it home, man. "Give not
And the
thy..."
lights, sorry, the lights represent you being knowledgeable of everything upon the face of the earth.
Right.
Yeah. You know?
Baruch chapter 4, verse 3, "Give not thine honor to another, nor the things that are profitable unto thee to a strange nation."
Good. You're not supposed to sell this word to a strange nation. What about the so-called white man? What about the East Indian? What about the Chinese? No. The The Most High care about them. The Most High say they are your slaves. All right? Right now, the Lord only care about you coming back to your nationality. The Lord only care about you coming back to this book. All right? The Lord didn't care about these people, bro. All right? Only the Israelites. All right? So you're not supposed to give this understanding to a strange nation.
That's right. That's right.
All right? Go ahead.
Verse 4, O Israel, happy are we, for things that are pleasant to the power are made known unto us. Be of good cheer, my people.
Yeah, these things in this book, son,
The memorial of
things,
Israel.
yeah, the things in this book are pleasant to the Lord.
That's right.
All right? And if we do the things in this book, we're going to be pleasant to the Lord.
That's right.
See, the Lord will not delight in us, you know? The Lord will delight in us, bro. The Lord will walk with you everywhere you go. All right? The Lord will walk with you. The Lord will love you, bro. Wait up.
All right, this is Ezekiel chapter 3, and it begins at verse 1. It said, moreover, he said unto me, Son of man, eat that thou findest, eat this roll, and go speak to the house of Israel.
And that's how we do it. Eating the role representing, taking the word and put it out to the nation of Israel. The scripture says, study to show yourself approved unto the Most High. So you're supposed to study this word and then go and speak to the house of Israel. And that's what we do it.
Right.
All right, we study the word. If you don't know, some people will ask, hey, how you all know these things? Because we eat the roll. All right, the roll represents the book. All right, we study it and we teaching you. All right, continue on.
Ezekiel 3 and verse 1. Moreover, he said unto me, Son of man, eat that what thou findest, eat this roll, and go speak to the house of Israel. Verse 2, I opened my mouth, and he caused me to eat that roll. And he said unto me, Son of man, cause thy belly to eat, and find and fill thy bowels with this roll that I give thee. Then did I eat it, and it was in my mouth as sweet as honey for sweetness.
Yeah, sweetness as honey for sweetness. I go back to the pleasantness. It goes into the promises, the kingdom, the hope, the joy. All right, there's what I go into. Right? Right? There's what they're going to. Kingdom, right? So they is sweet. Right? Continue on.
Verse 4. And he said unto me, Son of man, go, get thee unto the house of Israel, and speak with thy words unto them.
Yeah, the house of Israel, right? House rep means family. Right? And Israel is a nation. All right? In the Hebrew, Yasharahla, which means he is the Prince of God or the Prince of Power.
That's right.
Right? And if you being the Prince of God and Prince of Power, all right? Anywhere Israel is, anywhere you so-called Negro, Latino, Native Indian, West Indian is, there is Israel. Right? Today, because we're scattered among every nation. You see? Continue. So when the scripture says go to the house of Israel, it ain't talking about the state of Israel in the Middle East. It's talking about go wherever you are. Because it's a people before it's a place. Right?
Yeah, quick
Right. Because you get more there.
I got 2 more pieces.
Yeah, go ahead.
Verse 5.
I'm just finished with that.
Said, for thou art not sent to a people of strange speech.
Yeah, we speak Hebrew. We understand each other. If we see a Jake, we understand there's a black man, what's his style? What's his fashion? You see what you're moving, there's a Jake.
Spirit bearing with our spirit.
Right.
There is it that.
16, you know.
You see?
And even say,
Yeah.
and even say we don't speak about serving other gods and all. We speak about just serving Yahweh.
Good. Even though we don't know, you know, all of we just speak the same language. Hey, there's a Lord God, there's a Lord Jesus. But they know. But they're talking to the Most High.
This is so that the Hebrew is not only a dialect of speech, but also a conversation between the Hebrew Israelites. Because going into the character itself would show that it is of characteristics. You know, these different things. Right? The culture of the Hebrew Israelites. That's why the language is so pure and so the most speaking.
That's right. So and then in the scripture, even the Most High say, will turn to this people and few language.
That's right. Exactly.
Yeah, I
The
get it.
verse Ezekiel 3:5. For thou art not sent to a people of a strange speech or of an hard language, but to the house of Israel. Verse 6. Not to many people of strange speech and of any hard language, whose words thou canst not understand. Surely, had I sent thee to them, they would have hearkened unto thee.
Yeah, we could understand each other. Right? You hear the Lord say, if he had sent us to these strange nations, they will listen. They were glad. They say, oh shit, this is my book. You see, somebody give me a Lamentation 12:15. This is my book. You see, the Lord said, if I send you to these heathen, they're gonna want this book.
A quick stitcher.
Yeah, I get to it.
This is Malachi chapter 3 verse 16. Then they that feared Yahweh spake often one to another, as we just discussed it, right? Spake often one to another, and Yahweh hearkened and heard it, and the book of remembrance was written before him for them that fear the Lord and that thought upon his name. And that's why Ezra said in second Ezra, said, look upon all these other nations and look at Israel. Weigh the difference between the two. I mean, see, only Israel have kept thy precepts. And that's why it's the book. And it's not the heathen's book. But they were glad for inheritance. And that's why Esau used the book as a weapon in this world, in this kingdom. You know, he weaponized it, so to speak. But he benefit to create a covering cast that they could inherit the promises for the cat. You guys are?
They use the book against us.
That's right.
That's it.
Yeah, Lamentation.
Now there's Lamentations 2 and verse 15. So all that pass by clap their hands at thee. They hiss and wag their heads at the daughters of Jerusalem, saying, is this the city that men call the perfection of beauty?
Yeah, this is city. They call it perfection of beauty. That was the time in the Babylonian Empire. Alright? The Babylonian Empire, our people went astray. Alright? They was worshiping Satan. Alright? They was worshiping Satan in the Babylonian Empire. You see? And the Mosai basically destroyed them. Right? Mosai destroyed them and bring them to a lower state, and these heathen other nations start mocking them. Right? So they say, is this the people? And likewise they're doing today, because the same thing that happened to us back then, the same thing going on happening to us today. Right? Yeah.
But it says,
Don't type of bullshit like.
the joy of the whole earth is that all thine enemies have opened their mouth against thee. They hiss and gnash their teeth. They say, when we have swallowed her up, certainly this is the day that we look for.
Yeah, they're looking for destruction. That's why they are not your friends. Alright? They are your enemies. Right? They are your enemies. They are not your friends. These other nations are not your friends. They are your enemies. Alright? They are your enemies, right? Continue on.
And certainly this is the day that we look for. We have found, we have seen it. Yahweh had done that which he had devised. He had fulfilled his word that he had commanded in the days of old. He had thrown down and had not pitied. It said, and he had caused thy enemy to rejoice over thee. He had set up the throne of thine adversaries.
Yeah. So you get telling me that. Yeah, more on that?
Yeah, please, sir. Yeah, this is Deuteronomy chapter 6, reading from verse 4. It says here, O Israel, Yahweh power is one Lord, and thou shalt love the Lord thy God
Yahweh with all thine heart, and with all thine soul, and with all thy might. And these words which I command thee this day shall be in thine heart. Right? So basically these words are commanded to be in our heart. Alright? And even this here is a speech of predestination. Because in the kingdom, what is the promise is that no man is going to teach Yahweh, because every man will basically know. Alright? Pursuant to the second testament. Alright? Verse 7, it says, and thou shalt teach them diligently unto thy children, and shalt talk of them when thou sittest in thy house, and when thou walkest by the way, and when thou liest down, and when thou risest up. Right? The word Yahweh is supposed to be in mouth all the time. So when thou liest down, you lie down to rest, even you lie down your pot, whatever, with the woman, even the words is on your mind. Alright, it's in your heart, which is going back to your mind. Right? When thou sittest, when thou to eat, in everything in your conversation, in your everyday, do it. Alright? I can't look at the person that said, half was going into these people, these nations is our enemy. The person that says, if thou teaches thou sons grieving the enemy, when thou teaches thy son, don't pray for me. Yeah, because this wisdom is what makes us a beautiful nation. And without it, that's why we're reading from the beginning, it's that how Israel that was forsaking the wisdom, the fountain of wisdom. Alright, so we become like stagnant water. Israel become like the other nation worse. Alright?
Yeah, please. It says Ephesians chapter 5 and 20. It says, giving thanks always for all things unto Yahawah Banyamyan and our Father in the name of our Lord Yahweh Masahch. Right? In other words, everything he was mentioning, we're supposed to give thanks in everything that we do.
That's right.
Right? Like you say, even before you go to your woman, you're supposed to give thanks, because in the book of Tobit, Tobias had to give thanks to the Most High to send away the demon that killed 7 men. You understand? So that's why you would find these niggas out there, they would end up doing crazy things with a woman, because they ain't giving thanks. They allowing the Most High to dwell inside of them. So you can keep them. That's why the scripture said the bed is pure. Yeah. Right? But wait.
Yeah, the scripture said so even it's like the sinner shall be taken by God. You understand? So what are you supposed to do, You give thanks to the altar. But anyway, yeah.
This is Sirach 13 verse 3. It says, he that teacheth his son grieveth the enemy, and before his friends he shall rejoice of him.
Exactly, because this wisdom, right, this our heritage, our culture, this thing of ours is supposed to be passed down to our children.
That's right.
You understand? And hence is the reason why the enemy, they are the upper hand over us. Like the scripture says in Luke, that we shall be saved from who? Our enemy. And how we can be saved from our enemy is going back into these scriptures, which teach us about Yahweh. Yahweh is the hand of salvation. And Yahweh is the word.
That's right.
You see? Right?
To Psalm 78 and verse 5, it says, for he established a testimony in Jacob and appointed a law in Israel, which he commanded our fathers, that they should make them known to their children, that the generation to come might know them, even the children which should be born, who also arise and declare them to their children.
You're supposed to teach our children, and the scripture said it's word. Alright, you're supposed to declare it to them and teach them so that they could understand what the Most High say. Alright? Yeah.
Right, this is Deuteronomy chapter 4 and verse 5. Behold, I have taught to you statutes and judgment, even as the Lord Yahweh power commanded me, that ye should do so in the land where ye go to possess it. Keep therefore and do them, for this is your wisdom and your understanding in the sight of the nations.
Wisdom and understanding in the sight of the nations. Right? Because when you do them, you're going to prosper. I think there's in Joshua 1 and 6, he said, you're going to prosper, the Lord's going to make you successful. That's the word it says.
This Joshua chapter 1 and verse 6. Verse 8. This book of the law shall not depart out of thy mouth,
Bring it out.
but thou shalt meditate therein day and night, and thou mayest observe to do according to all that is written, for then thou shalt make thy way prosperous, and then thou shalt have good success.
Yeah. Right. See? When you do that, you're going to get good success. Alright? You're going to be blessed. See? And that's what the Lord wants us to prosper in Him. He wants us to put no other God before Him. Alright? He wants us to trust in Him and walk in His ways.
Right, brother, bring it up.
Alright? Yeah.
Puts it on. I was watching a video even with Apostle Dabar, and he was going into to think that the other gods, right, they are other gods, you gotta be delusional. Because it's a delusion. Basically, these are just left on. You see? All these, Baphomet,
Molech,
and all these different, these are basically delusions for the nation. You understand? Because like in scriptures, the Most High say, hey, there's no God beside me. Alright? So, hey, the precept says all the gods are no gods.
That's it right there.
Alright? They're basically no gods. Right? The scripture says even you shall send a spirit even to deceive. The deceiver and the deceiver are his.
That's right.
You see?
This is Psalms chapter 115 and verse 1. I started to. Wherefore should the heathen say, where now is their power? But our power is in the heavens, and He hath done whatsoever He pleased. Their idols are silver and gold, the works of men's hands. They have mouths, but they speak not. Eyes have they, but they see not.
Right.
And speaking of that, right, in I think it's New York or one of them states, they erect a Satan statue, and they want to pass a bill whereby they could have abortions for ritual purposes. Big statue, you know, to put it with muscles and face and all these type of stuff, the horns and the wings and so forth. But these people, like you said, through the spirit, right? That this is delusions, like they are like old white fables, and they create a whole image of what this thing look like, you know, like well here in Guyana, right? When it's blackout, when we was younger, we used to talk about Nancy's story. We used to make up a whole set of shit. I remember talking about a matchstick coming to life. And a spoon coming to life and all them stripping it.
These different things,
Yeah.
light and all them things.
Yeah.
And you know what basically you support you in fear? Not the reality of these things, but it's how Jake minds so graphic.
Yeah, and the mystery of it too. Like, how you could think of something so creative, you know?
Yeah, but they demonized Moon Gazer. Because Moon Gazer was actually the Issachar them Yasharahla.
Yeah.
Where they were just stand up and read the sky. But the demonized says, look at you, run from me. You know, they want to tell your children that, hey, your own people ain't good.
Yeah.
You understand?
Look at it, right? Where there's an absence of light, the imagination play a greater part in what you believe.
Right.
You understand? So in the darkness, that's why the scripture talk about it's a wisdom of Solomon 18. Talk about how
Apparitions.
the apparitions, and they even believe the things to be greater than what they actually saw.
Yeah.
Right? Because of the darkness. You understand? And this is exactly why Esau want to keep us in that docile state, that state of steady sleep. Alright? We're always in that darkness. So whatever you portray, whatever you put out, it speaks to your mind, the subconscious, rather than what's actually there.
That's right.
You understand? Yeah, but you get it.
It's in Sirach when it starts all the multitude of dreams coming from food. It's Sirach 4. Alright, because it's
there's a point I want to bring out in the
We finish out this one. Psalms?
Yeah, bring it up.
Yeah, Psalms 115 and verse 4
You
says,
see after, right? You gotta understand how powerful the darkness is, right? Because the scripture tell you that the Most High light in the thick darkness, right? Somebody could bring the piece of what they get it. The most in the darkness is where power dwells, right? That's why the Africans they overpraise themselves. Hey, we black, we this, we that, not knowing that they're slaves too to us.
that's right.
Because the real people are supposed to praise themselves and they're in praise. You understand? And then even look at themselves as kings. So understand how powerful the darkness is. Right? The darkness is good. He tell you to go when I wish I went for prayer and all of these things. You know? Even the scripture tell you in Psalms that the spirit started to move around. You will see about it move all the time, but you'll find that the birds them wake up in darkness and started to sing for the Lord. You understand? The darkness is good. But Esau demonized darkness.
Yeah, because we're checking the scripture that the law is a lamp and light. So he does put it back in the testimony, according to the testimony, his word, there's no light in him. So we being in the dark, he's the one that's supposed to shed the light. You understand? We're supposed to be the illuminated one. Alright? Yeah, we have some.
Actually, want to finish something said. When?
Yeah, Psalms 115 and verse 4. Their idols are silver and gold, the work of men's hands. They have mouths, but they speak not. Eyes have they, but they see not. They have ears, but they hear not. Noses have they, but they smell not. They have hands, but they handle not. Feet have they, but they walk not. Neither speak they through their throats. They that make them are like unto them. So is everyone that trusteth in them. So Yahweh Shamar revealed to the apostles, to the prophets, the church of Israel basically, that the people who worship these what you call inanimate objects is likened unto them, the dumb. They're doing nothing. Because you greater than these things, you could do more than these things, and you make it with your own hand and you serving it, you know, you liken unto them. It makes no sense.
Put into memory that the movie 2012, right? You know, in Brazil on the mountain, I think it's Rio, the area that had the whole statue. They had one time when the earthquake, a piece of rock pitched and hit down the statue. It was similar to the vision in Daniel, how the statue of Babel get hit by the millstone. So you know, these people are subliminal in these movies and stuff like that. Right? And I wanted to. There's have a club.
Here we go.
Yeah, that's it. Let's have a book chapter 2, verse 18. What profit the graven image that the maker thereof had graven it? The molten image are teachers of light. And the teacher of light, that the maker of his work trusted therein to make dumb idols. Woe unto him that said to the wood, awake, to the dumb stone, arise. It shall teach. Behold, it is laid over with gold and silver. There is no breadth at all in the midst of it. But the house power is in his holy temple. Let all the earth keep silent before him. So hey, all the illusions and these things, hey, number one is blasphemy and it's not real. You understand? Because the Most High don't give it glory to any other. So even in the Isaiah it says, your thoughts are not my thoughts, and your ways are not my ways, says the Lord.
Alright? Like people will be like, they got the audacity. Before they ask the question, they're telling you, there is no way the Lord make all these people and hate some and love some. All created equally. You know? So the Most High task is not your task. His ways are not your ways. You know how things are going to go down is not in terms of no rapture or any nonsense like that, you know? It's all folly. You know, read the book like I was going into. You know, this book is the book of the Israelites, the covenant of the Israelites. Alright? You blacks, Africans, and Latinos need to come back to this book. You need to come back to it. As a matter of fact, you need to find Yahushua. Or let's get Yahushua. If Yahushua had the mercy, you know, from his father, he'll find you.
Or that answer the call.
Yeah,
Answer the call.
yeah, because it's true to say answer the call. The scripture says, you know, when it says, at the time of ignorance we winked at, but now command every man to repent. Because it's only
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright?
I'll bring on the Psalms. Wait.
Bring some.
The Psalms. I know this is the one, but it should still be accurate.
When I was mentioning balance with darkness and so forth, right? How the Most High dwelleth. It says Psalms 139 and verse. We start from 11. It says, if I say, surely the darkness shall cover me, even the night shall be light about me. Yea, the darkness hideth not from thee, from Yahweh Yasharahla. But the night shining as the day, the darkness. The darkness and the light are both alike unto thee. Right? So the darkness and the light is like the same to the Most High because he created both. Right? Scripture say he created darkness, he created light. And this reminds me of Elder Dabar in South Carolina. Somebody asked a question, why did the Most High create evil? He did the live show last night. He thought, don't take out the brother video. You know, because of so-called YouTube guidelines that it was a scam thing or something like that the demon has. You know. But anyway, somebody was saying, asking the question, why did the Lord make evil? Because he's sick and tired of all this killing and murder, rape and thing. And the brother was sincerely saying, look, we could bring out scriptures and so forth. There's several ways you can answer the question, right? The Most High created for your own pleasure. The Most High created it so that, you know, we'd appreciate things more in the kingdom and so forth. But the whole explanation of it, we can't demand the Most High. And he was saying that even the Most High himself put it in your spirit for asking these questions. Alright? For sure, let his power be shown. Alright? And it's the same thing with darkness. The light is shine better in darkness. And the darkness got purpose, you know? As a designer, I would use a shadow to make another color pop, you know? For pushing it like a 3D effect. You know? You got that?
If I'm gonna add to, right? When you look at the evening time, right? And you look at the stars them in the darkness that they are, and you see the little light. It looks beautiful. Ooh, it's the same way. Though Israel is within the gross darkness, there's the light among the elect. Right? You see the beauty. Alright?
To show you that it's a demonized darkness. Because the scripture talk about two darkness. They talk about darkness which is wickedness. And they talk about darkness with the Most High himself.
That's
right. 1 Kings chapter 8 and 12. Then spake Solomon, the Lord said that he dwelleth in thick darkness. In thick darkness, which is where? Beyond the sky, beyond these clouds.
right.
Right? Which is space, right? This is Psalms 18 and 11. It says, he made darkness a secret place. Its pavilion round about him were dark waters.
Come on. Describing, man.
Dark waters
Describing, man.
and thick cloud of the sky.
That's right. If I explain a little some so-called science, right? Esau's wonder why the sun light don't like show like a straight line coming to the earth and so forth, right? But then the Most High gave Esau, remember scripture said that Esau will be wiser than Daniel, right? The Most High revealed to Esau, and now back to the men in the Lord, that light is an electromagnetic field that travels through the thick darkness, the thick dark waters, and reach the earth within a time span. And it's much more beautiful than it. Must look up these documentaries on light and these different stuff like that. Esau using it for sway people up to believe that there's no God and so forth. It can encourage me as men, Lord, to appreciate all the beautiful things that the Most High created, right? Y'all got that?
Yeah, that precept just add to what I think.
You got that?
There's Genesis chapter 1 verse 6. And the Paul said, let there be a firmament in the midst of the waters. And let it divide the waters from the waters.
God.
You know?
Right? So the second heaven is referred to as waters. And when the astronauts training, what is training? Underwater in pools. This is be trained to imitate.
Why this space suit look like a diving suit?
Exactly.
Anyway, alone. You understand?
Another quick precept. This is Exodus 20:21. It says, from 20, right?
Yeah, everything 20.
It says, and Moses said unto the people, fear not, for the Most High is come to prove you that his fear may be before your faces, that he sin not.
And this when Moses, the elders of Israel for make Yahawah, because they said they want to talk to yourself, right?
God.
Yeah.
It says, and the people stood afar off, and Moses drew near into the thick darkness where power was.
They're talking about the cloud actually, which is the chariot. And they was talking about Yahawah. Right? Because the no man ever hear Yahawah's voice. Right? So remember, Yahawah is representation of his father. Right? So in other words, he dwelleth in with a thick darkness, which the scripture say even now. You know, you get to do something.
I remember these are interdimensional vehicles, right? So this one named Farrakhan, the one said, yo, there's worlds inside those UFOs, which is the kind of modify what the Apostle has been saying, right?
You watch it?
Yeah, you watch the videos, right? There's worlds within the chariot. So I'm just speaking as a man, what it possibly see, or what we possibly saw was the vehicle coming through the dimensions, right? From the dimension of, which is the fourth dimension where Yahweh Shai dwells and sitting, ruling and governing everything, right? Then the third dimension is this area and all the deep space and so forth. And second dimension, first dimension, and so forth, right? So when it says the thick darkness, it could be like a portal or something. Just speaking as something.
Well, the scripture said directly that the darkness is talking about the cloud. Because one of the things you must understand is that the chariot could be right here, right now. We can't see it.
That's true.
Right? So, light is nothing. The sunlight cannot hide the chariots if the Most High don't want it to hide. Now, can you hide something in darkness? Somebody read Ecclesiastes 2:13.
Well, I read it in same Psalms 139 when King David said, if I hide myself in darkness, thou art near, because the darkness is like light unto the Most High.
Yeah, but the darkness that King David was talking about is even if he go down into hell, which is confusion, the Lord is there with him.
That's right.
Right? There's a different thing. Go ahead.
Yeah, this is Ecclesiastes chapter 2:13. Then I saw that wisdom excelleth folly, as far as light excelleth darkness.
Right, so light excel against darkness. But again, the chariot is considered darkness. Yet, the chariot could be in the 12 o'clock sun, and you wouldn't see the chariot if this vehicle or this angel don't want to reveal itself. That's how powerful darkness is.
When you look at this movie shots, space movie, right? Even in Star Trek and so forth, you would find that they would go into certain modes where they put on an invisible cloak.
Yeah.
And the thing about it, darkness is so
beautiful, it's so powerful that people are afraid of the dark. If you just tell people there's something in the darkness over there, they don't want to go. And they don't even have to go, because if they just see shadow, right? When I say, okay, darkness, and you stand up and you telling the person this is what they in there, they're going to be afraid. And it's likewise with the Masahch. You understand? The Masahch is what? A dark-skinned man. His son is dark-skinned. We are dark-skinned. And the whole world, these people are afraid of us. They discriminate us because well, there's power in us. Which, hey, we don't know black thing here, but I'm talking about the spirit. You understand? Going back to the chariot and the sun, what just was explaining, is the power that we have, that we possess. Right?